Hi, I'm with my sister, and we're gonna test the
iPhone 12 Pro
versus the Fuji X-T4. Let's try again.
Nice job, Dad.
Ready, set, go. Ding! It just keeps going. Oh my God! Anything else before we keep going? Jeez. All right. Oh! You are kidding. You are not. This is not real.
It's all him.
I don't know if this is even gonna translate in the video, but this church has been ringing for so long. But really quick, what we're gonna do is just go over these simple differences between a professional photography camera, the Fuji X-T4, and the new iPhone 12 Pro camera. Probably the biggest difference is the sensor size of each camera. They can just put a tiny little sensor inside of a phone camera, and then they use technology like portrait mode to create the illusion of depth of field. That's what cuts the subject out of the picture, and then they digitally blur the background and make it look as much like a professional camera as possible. And it's starting to get really good, and we'll get into those comparisons soon. A real professional photography camera like this has an actual big sensor inside, and that's what gives you that ability to absorb a lot of light, open up your lens, and get natural, real depth of field with a photography lens. And then the other main difference is this is a 26 megapixel sensor and this is a 12 megapixel sensor. But honestly, when it comes to posting things online and just looking at them on small screens like this, you're not gonna really be able to notice too much of a difference in the sharpness or detail. We're gonna shoot in the native camera app with this, no extra tricks and giggles or anything like that, and we're gonna shoot in RAW at the highest quality. So both cameras are shooting at their maximum potential with the devices we have. Let's go! We're gonna start with the Fuji X-T4, and then we'll go to the iPhone 12 Pro.
Now it's time for the iPhone 12 Pro.
One thing I realized too that actually works out really well is this lens is 18 to 35, and the iPhone 12 Pro with portrait mode has a 1x mode and a 2x mode. So it's nice we have like a zoom portrait mode for both rigs, which is great. So we'll be able to compare the differences. I'll put the info on the screen.
It's really dark.
Is it?
Yeah.
We can brighten that VHS RAW right up.
Can you?
Oh no.
Oh.
So looking back at those last photos we took on the iPhone, particularly when she put her middle finger up, obviously a real camera lens has real natural depth, so you can focus on the finger and everything else in the background will fall off out of focus. Whereas with the iPhone, it has to digitally cut out her hand, her finger, and try to make it look as good as possible. We're dealing with so many city beeps today. So I'm guessing with portrait mode, it will not do a perfect job of cutting out her hand, but I guess we'll have to see how it looks on a small screen. Wait. It's an extremely bright situation. The sun is really hitting the theater hard. But one thing to keep in mind when you're shooting photos on an iPhone, the sensor is super tiny, so flooding it with a ton of light is gonna give you the cleanest, best looking results possible. So we'll see how well the iPhone handles like high dynamic range situations, see if we can lift the shadows and make it look as good as the X-T4. It'll just be a good test.
Yeah, I make decisions to glow. Ridiculous flow, potential to glow. You know, I just do that. Consolidate my regions, line it up, put them together. Anyone that ever let me down, forget them forever.
We got news. So we're analyzing the photos Jaden just took with the iPhone 12 Pro. It's super good. It even blurred out the part in between my arm, like the opening in my arm. It didn't crop it out completely perfectly, but when you look at the picture as a whole, you don't even notice. It's actually like, that looks really good.
Very good.
Great work, kid.
It's all because of me.
It's all you. Handing the channel off now. I'm done. I'm retiring.
Get out of my shot.
Sorry.
My memory's bad. Remember me, though? My memory's gone. My memory, it limits me home. No tree huggers, cause all the lumber's gone. Pass through the hood when it's good and they chopping up wood. Breaking up stems, tilting my brim. With a limp like a pimp, though I'm shaped like a wimp. They put no fear in him, it's just...
Yeah, clean that booty, girl. Keep that thing clean. If you're gonna find a home, you need a clean ass.
I would know.
I noticed that as kids, we said folks a lot.
Did we?
In our videos, yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's all, folks.
Yep.
See, folks.
Straight on the screen, like the iPhone photos just look so good. Like, I think that's one advantage the iPhones have now is the hardware is good. Like their cameras and lenses that they make are actually like pretty dang good now. But the software that goes with it is like the real kicker. It makes it so good. Like the ability to digitally cut out the subject and blur out the background pretty accurately now. And the fact that it has HDR settings built in, so it's helping you expose. Like the photos we took, like nothing's really blown out because the software is analyzing the entire image and correcting things. Whereas on something like the Fuji X-T4, she has to like control everything. We have to kind of shoot for the subject, sometimes blow out the highlights, hope we can recover that in RAW. And luckily, like RAW files on the X-T4, like there's a lot of information. We'll be able to recover almost everything, but you have to have more knowledge of photo editing. So it's cool that on iPhone, like they just give you a solid foundation to start with.
It's just me and the end of my timeline. Flow like a fine wine, smelling like fine pine. Yeah, is this the end or just the beginning? Am I losing or winning? Is this reality or am I pretending? I'm Cain and Abel, I murdered my brother cause I'm able. Murdered myself because my alter ego's so unstable. You get that? If you didn't, just sit back, then crack this six-pack. I should be in the gym doing sit-ups, trying to get this six-pack. But forget that, where the click at? Where the bras and the cash and the whips at? Where the bit back? Where the bop, where the bit back? I just did that. Trying to focus on my get back, my get up, my re-up, my rematch. A patch of seeds and Apache debris passing through Indian Springs in Las Vegas, my G. Bumping Nirvana in Nevada. My favorite word is medulla oblongata. Just doing what I gotta. Is this the end or just the beginning?
Well, that's it for now, but we'll have later. More later. But now we have a song for you. Here it goes.